A couple seconds for it to kick in, yes. And we should be live.
Yep. Excuse
But
me.
I'm not seeing it on my side.
Well,
There
it's
we go.
showing. We've been live for about 12 seconds now.
Yeah, I got it now. So, hello everyone. Welcome.
Sup?
How are you been?
I'm blessed. Always am.
We got Jesse's here, and we had the other person was here a little while. I don't know if she left or she's still here, but she's not typing, so um, didn't show up in there.
Hey, Jaden.
And
Sup, Jess?
Jaden come in. Hey,
Mary Ann.
so let's start off with our disclaimer.
All right. We are no experts.
Not
We
not
don't
one.
we don't claim to be experts. Although we know some stuff, we ain't experts. At least we think we know some stuff. And that's kind of the whole point to this. We sharing what we think we know.
And if we don't know, we hope somebody out there will know.
Yeah.
But anyways, welcome everybody. Appreciate everybody being here.
Yeah.
And everybody comes in, so we got whopping 3 people besides us. So we're on a roll.
Hey, it's all good, brother.
And I got my sidekick back here, Jewel. She's watching over my shoulder.
Yep.
You got your sidekick there someplace too, Nicole.
Let me think. Yeah, I got Nikki right here.
There you go.
And Otis is back. He's hiding behind the what you call that thing you walk on? Treadmill. Yeah.
So, did you come up with something?
Yeah, I've always got something. My tip of the week, I guess this week, would be that try to make sure that you have a well-rounded channel. Take advantage of the different things that in other words, take advantage of the different things that YouTube has to offer. For example, shorts, more of your long-term or your longer format videos, and your live streams. Each one of them has something different that they seem, from what I can tell, each one of them has a different thing that they tend to do well with or help you with. And so just try to make sure that you take advantage of all the stuff available.
All right. And my tip of the day is enjoy what you're doing or don't do it. That's
I can get down
that's a
with
big
that.
one. If you're not enjoying it, it turns out to be a job. And I'm already retired from my job, so I don't want another job. I want to have fun.
Yeah, you can actually get burnt out with that.
And I could attest to that because the first part of this week I was like computer burnout. I didn't want to be near the computer, and I'd come in and check in with everybody, and then check out. And I mean, check out different ways too. I fell asleep here one time with my headset on, and Susan walked in, and I was on somebody's live, and she said, "What are you doing?" And I looked up and I said, "Heck, I don't know. I'm half asleep."
The question is, were you on the panel?
No, I wasn't on the panel. No, I was just in the chat, but I was chatting and listening and watching, and I couldn't hang. Yes. Hey, we got a couple more people in here. We got Stevens in here, Mountain of Inspirations come in here, and D is here from Homestead in the Wood with D, and Annie Kitchens in Urban Homestead, and that welcome. We appreciate you guys coming here.
We do.
We already gave our tip, but we can give it again later. In about 30 minutes ago, we'll give it again.
Well, so I can come up with a new tip.
Well, what else you got going?
At the moment, I've been trying to, I've got about 4 channels, and I got more than that, but I try to keep some of them private, just for one reason or another. It's just always nice to have something that that you don't really do much on, that you can show up and nobody know who you are. Now it's hard to do that on my other channels because they all name Belt Loop 29, Belt Loop 29, Belt Loop 29 Can Cook, Belt Loop 29 Cute Critters, and Belt Loop 29 Gardening. So, hey, Zell and Cooking Paradise. Hey, cooking it.
A few more have come in. Thank you very much for coming in.
Yep, we appreciate y'all coming in.
I'm Jerry, and that's Gary. Yeah, he said hello to the host and co-host, and so I figure since it's on my channel, I'm the host tonight, and you're the co-host.
That reminds me, I got an idea at some point. If you're interested, we could go through at some point, and I'm just
talk about. Are you going to bring up topic about the double streaming or triple streaming?
Or share streaming? Yeah. Well, I just think about it because here's my thought. You've got around 750, about 750 subscribers, right?
Right.
All right. At the moment, I'm sitting about 2,080 or something like that. Something like that. Let me look. I am curious. Now that I mention it, I'll have to swap over to my other channel because I've been uploading stuff on my Cute Critters channel. I'm currently at 2,083.
2,083.
Yeah. I was just thinking we could go through at some point if you want to. It doesn't matter to me.
Well, that's fine. I mean, we have to stop this one though and restart, right?
Well, I don't mean today. I don't mean today. I mean maybe next week or something.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be fine. You start off on a co-stream it, and we have people in there in both chats, and we can see what's going on.
Well,
we reach more people.
I would just think it might be if people get it, if more people hear about it, we could end up with more people in the chat,
right?
And more people to contribute, or more people to hop in, or whatever, and may be able to get you more subscribers or something.
That's fine, Gary. We can do that next week since it's working. I was looking at that today. Think about subscribing, and if you do it for the whole year, it's averages $20 a month. But but you got to pay for the whole year, so it's $240 for the year. If you do it by the month, it's $25 a month.
Right. I'm not too worried about it. I don't pay for a lot of services. I don't pay for my Canva. I don't pay for my Pixabay. I don't pay for I don't sign up for things typically, and I used the free version of this for a long time. But once I started deciding I wanted to get I was going to go ahead and get monetized and have people up here, it became more important to me to have more control or have more features and more time. And
right.
So I went ahead and started using their service. And so for me, it's worked out well. That allows me a few things that not a whole lot of things, but a few things that you don't get with the free version. So it's all good though.
So what in the analytics did you have to speak about tonight?
Well, let's talk about analytics. My numbers, here of late, I hadn't been focusing. Excuse me. Let me get me a drink. I hadn't really been focusing on putting up content this week. I have been doing, some live streaming, that type of thing. I did on Tuesday and Thursday, which was, I guess, yesterday. Well, technically, I guess that was this morning, and then I did one at 12 this afternoon, 12 noon. That was the ice cream party, and it went on, I guess, about an hour and 15 minutes.
But here's my analytics for, see if I make that bigger so you can see it.
Right there.
I guess that's the best I can do, huh? But you see, I'm almost at 110 views, and you can see lately where I started doing more videos and more lives. It's more staying pretty much steady,
Looks like you're at 181 views over the last 48 hours.
Right.
And views looks like you're at 109,000. Now that's over your lifetime.
Right. That's over the last year.
Go up to the top and flip that over to 20 to the last 28 days, if you don't mind.
There you go.
Okay, it just hadn't showed up on mine yet.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm looking at, I can see more on my bigger monitor, and I've got StreamYard on the smaller monitor,
Oh, okay.
and so 12.3 thousand views, 414 hours of watch time, and 90 subscribers. Those aren't bad numbers if you think about it. The 414 is, I think that's pretty close. Let me double check my math real quick, because Lord knows I hadn't figured it in a while.
You multiply that by 12?
Well, if you take 4,000 divided by, actually it's 13 point something, but you know, it's a little over 300 hours per 28 days. So if you really want to get technical, you could take 365 and divide that by the 4,000 hours.
Okay, hold on. Now you lost me now. So it's on 28 days now, and it says I had 414 for 28 days, right?
Well, if you take 4,000 hours.
Oh, 4,000 hours. Okay, that's what
Right.
you're
And you divide that by 365 days, which there's 365 days a year. That's 10.95890. Well, irrelevant on that. You might as well just say 11 hours. And as long as
multiply that by 28, huh?
And yeah, 28 is going to put it a little over,
307 hours roughly.
Yeah. So I mean, you're doing better than at your numbers. If you continue on with those, you will have the hours in time, and you're 90. Obviously you're going to have your you're going to have now. One thing I would say or ask about, you put out shorts, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Well,
I put out at least 2 shorts, 3 shorts a week, and at least one to 3 videos a week.
Okay, well, if you don't mind, click on your Earn tab.
My Earn tab? Okay.
Yeah.
You're not going to like this.
Well, that's fine.
Can you see that?
I can.
It's 1964.
All right. So, you're at of the hours, you're at 1964. That's fine. And you are, getting about 2/3 way to your 1K subscribers.
Right.
So
I'm about 1,036 hours behind.
Well, that's under the assumption that they both happen at the same time.
Right. I'm just, that's what I'm shooting at.
Right. And that don't typically happen. In fact, usually, as you get larger numbers, your watch hours tend to increase unless you're doing a lot of live streams, and live streams tend to promote more watch hours.
Josh just came in here. Hey, Josh, from Skidder Farms.
Oh, cool. Hey, Josh. I'm sorry I wasn't looking at the chat, brother.
I just happened to know, so and I apologize if I missed you guys beforehand. But anyway, so you want to look at anything else there?
No. That's cool. I just was curious as far as the discrepancy or the differences between your hours and your. I tell you what, you can go through and on that page where you're at, clicking on 365 just to see, of course you've been doing this less than a year, hadn't you?
No, I've been doing it just a little over a year. I started in actually October, November of 2021. So I just been a little over. I think I put my first video up like in December though.
All right. Put your cursor on that big spike there at the beginning.
Right here? Oh, this spike right here?
The first big spike.
Well, yeah, the first these are out here, but these you mean right here.
I guess it's to the left, yeah.
Yeah, right there, 5,516.
All right. And is that on a short or a regular video?
Well, I think it's on a video.
Okay.
but that was in June. I think it's on my goat and cow video where I was trimming the goat's hoofs, the one that has 20,000 hits on it. It has almost 21,000 on it now. Or excuse me, almost 20,100 views on it now.
Okay.
Why that one took off at that time of year or that day, I could not tell you.
Well, it's possible the people interested in how to trim a, hooves.
Yeah, I mean, it like the next see that was if I get my thing to run straight. That was on the 13th. On the 14th, it was 4,000. The 15th was 4,000. So I'm pretty sure that was that video.
Well, if I were you, I think I'd be making a video about how to trim a cow or a goat's hooves.
Yeah, I got to do it again here pretty soon. I probably will do it.
Well, I think
hey, Dark Lord Meat came in.
Dark Lord Monette. That's the way I always say it.
Monette, not Monette, but Monette.
Monet, maybe. Anyhow, it's good to see you, Dark Lord. Interesting, weird thing. Yeah, we are. In fact, I sometimes, occasionally, I'll watch those. What are they? By the way, you can take that down and just show us if you want, or you can leave it up. It don't matter to me. Sometimes I have a tendency to watch those Pour of Winer videos. You ever see those?
Say again.
A Pour of Winer. I'll take it that you haven't by the blank look on your face.
Yeah, I'm lost. Yeah.
Well, a Pour of Winer is when you get something. Usually, I think they usually see them on people's faces, and it's it's kind of gross. And it's when you get a lot of trash in one of your pores.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And they get
like
to digging around in there.
It's like that movie, Dr. Pimple.
Yeah. Dr. Pimple Popper or something like that.
Yeah. That's that to me is like, what the heck?
Yeah, but people can't tear themselves away from watching.
No, though it's like a car wreck. People will rubberneck. They'll see it a car wreck. It's really shouldn't really look. It shouldn't be looking at it. You'll be in a car wreck.
Yeah, we do have a tendency to look at strange things from time to time.
And what is Jesse saying? It would help if you would change your page view to dark instead of white.
Oh, I agree. That's the way I keep mine.
What's he mean?
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll share my screen and show you. Let's see. Share screen. It's a whole lot easier to see.
Oh. I'm not like that. So how would I do that though?
You go up to the little icon on the top right, and you click down near the bottom, second from the bottom. I could put it back light thing, but I don't like the light thing.
Okay, hold on. Let me try this. Talking about on YouTube or on
YouTube, yeah.
Okay. Okay, I must not be looking at the right place.
In fact, I guess we could look at my Cute Critters account. It's kind of a small channel.
I go to settings or something?
Well, watch my screen. See my cursor right here in the middle?
Move it around so I can see it. I don't see it.
Well, I can't see it either. I don't know why. But if you go look in the top right-hand side of the video, you see that little picture of me? That little icon? See how I've dropped down that?
Oh, yeah.
Look at the next to the last one. It says appearance. On mine, it says dark. Yours is on light theme. Mine is on dark theme.
Okay, so that's on in the studio.
That is in the studio. That's right.
Okay, so I'm in the studio.
Look at the top right, and when you click on
okay, I got it.
Okay. It's a whole lot
I've never done that before.
it's a whole lot easier to look at when it's dark than when it's light.
So let me just try this and see how it works now.
Okay. There you go.
There you go. There, you can see that better now.
There we go.
Okay, I didn't know I've never done that before, so
That's okay. Ain't no reason why you should know about it if you hadn't.
Thanks, Jesse.
Yep. And I appreciate you suggesting it and mentioning it to it. I just wasn't thinking, and that's all right. But I try to put out on my videos on my Cute Critters channel. I've just loaded up several videos and just had them and they're private at the moment. I'm going to look at a better time to have them released. It's just some old clips of like Bella and Nicole when we first brought Nicole home, and
Yeah.
so I had them on my hard drive, and I thought I might as well put them up. I hadn't looked much at some of the old stuff with Bella or Lulabelle lately. It's just kind of hard to watch at times. So anyhow,
Okay, I got it. Hang on for a second. Oh, okay, cool. Our radio's going off for a second. I got a question for you.
Yeah.
My wife asked me this, and I couldn't answer her because I had no idea. She says, "Why is there a delay from StreamYard to the YouTube channel? If you're watching, if you got YouTube up, and you got it. We're talking over here, and there's like a 5-6 second delay or something like that before it actually shows on YouTube."
What's up, Carpenter Self-Reliance?
Hey, Jerry.
That is true when you're talking about the video, but that is not true when you're talking about the chat. The chat is quicker on YouTube than it is on StreamYard.
Right.
So
do you know what the reasoning is for that?
I assume it's just the difficulty in moving the graphics, video from one process to the other.
Oh.
But I could be wrong. I'm not perfect, but I assume that's what I've always assumed.
Right.
Good to see you, Carpenter Self.
So you got anything else we want to show?
Not necessarily as far as I'm concerned. You can open up the panel and see if somebody wants to come up, and they may even have a question or something.
I'd be more than happy to do that if I can find out where it's at again.
I tell you
where'd it go? How come it's not there?
Tell you what, let's do this. Let me switch back over there. And I don't know, am I an actual mod on your channel?
Yes, you should be.
Okay, well, I hope so. I am. All right, why don't I just drop the link, and if you want, you can pin it.
Okay. Because I don't show it up on my side anymore.
What's that?
The link.
It's right up top at the address.
No, it's not on mine. It's not. It says "Welcome to Butler Family Farm" in Belt Loop Live on my with the stream. Oh, there. Maybe that's it right there. Did you drop it? You already did, didn't you?
Yeah. You may have hit the F11 button. Which I guess I could share that as a kind of a tip. When you have your browser up, if you hit the F11 button, I'll tell you what, go ahead and share my screen.
That one?
All right. Watch what happens when I hit the F11 button. Do you see it? Want to see it again?
Huh.
That's what happens when you hit the F11 button. It eliminates, or it makes it now, even when you get it full screen, if you hold your cursor up top, it'll still bring up stuff so you can go to it. But well, it ain't dropping down now.
Well, another thing is I don't show. You know how it has a little eyeball up there next to how long we've been live.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even see any viewers. I know we have viewers, but it don't show any viewers on this side.
Well, we may not. Well, I got 10 people. According to my YouTube right now,
Yeah, there's 10
got
people watching.
10 people.
I thought that was different. I thought maybe there's something going on with that.
I don't know. It doesn't show me. It doesn't show me how many folks is watching on the StreamYard. Oh, let me go through it. You can take me off the big screen. Good to see you. Yeah.
How's that?
And Heather. Excellent. That's even better. There's all sorts of little tricks and tips you can pick up if you're looking for them. Sometimes it's helpful depending on what you're trying to do with your computer and what you're trying to get accomplished, that's right. I hadn't even hit the thumbs up yet. I'm sorry.
Maybe the thumbs up. I did pin it to the top, so anybody wants to come in, it says belt loop, but it doesn't make a difference. We're both here.
Excellent.
That should come up, but yeah, on my screen this shows StreamYard. That does not show the link anymore.
Well,
it shows.
Does it show tabs up above it?
Nope, it shows.
You want to share your screen again, Jerry?
Sure. Let me see if I can get this one here.
Let me take a look at it.
Let's see if I can find the right one here.
Are you on Mac or regular?
No, I'm on regular.
All right.
You know what?
What's that?
I don't think it's going to show it. It shows StreamYard version, but I don't show the. Let me think here. Let me see if I can find this one. Maybe this is it.
Okay.
Now it shows it on this one.
That's on your YouTube.
Right.
Actually, I think you may be showing. I don't know. You may be showing mine. Are you showing mine or yours? Tell you what, easy way to find out.
I think that's mine. It says mine. That's my name under it.
Well, that is weird because I don't see your StreamYard at all.
Yeah. That's weird. Oh, that's all I'm supposed to do is try to do that. Stop that. Yeah, it doesn't show StreamYard. I know I'm in it.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's try something. Hold your thumb on the ALT button, the Alt button.
Okay.
Now, while you're holding that down, hit the tab button. Then release both of them.
Okay. Oops. Can't do that. You can't really. If I release it, it disappears. Gotta hold it on.
What disappears?
I push the hold the tab and hold it and push tab, and it shows up 4, 5 screens. I get rid of one of these. It shows not loaded. What the heck is that loaded? That's my movies. And it shows the StreamYard, and it shows the one where the
click on move that cursor until it goes to StreamYard. And when it gets on StreamYard, release it.
Okay.
All right. Now your StreamYard should come up.
Nope.
Should pop up.
Didn't work. That's weird.
Well,
I can move it over with my arrow key.
Let me ask you a question. When you look at what you're looking at on the screen right now, nod your head and look and see if you're nodding in the same time as it is on the screen.
Yep. It's live.
That's weird.
It's weird. I don't know. It's the first time I ever had this happen.
I don't know. It's without being able to see your screen and being there, it's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah, when I push the Alt key and the Tab key, it pulls up what I have, other screens I have on, or other tabs I have on.
Yeah, lazy days ahead. Jesse is right. Alt Tab helps you move from screen to screen.
Right, but I can't do it with a cursor. I have to use my arrow key. And then when I release it, nothing happens.
Well, it sounds like I don't know. It's weird because something's happened to your StreamYard, and it should be there. I mean
Yeah.
that
Hang
it's
on one
like
second. I'm going to try something. If I disappear, I'll be back. Okay. Oh, there he
okay.
goes. I got it. Aha.
I got to admit that fills me with a little anxiety. I can't tell what's going on over there, and I like to know, what's happening.
Okay. I don't know what it was. Earlier, I was messing around before you got in here. I was messing around with banners and stuff, so I could put this on the bottom. And I guess I typed up there in the where it has the address. I typed in this is what I have. Welcome to Butler Family Farm and Garrett Belt Loop 29 live, and that was up there in the address line.
Slow mode is done under customization through content. Dark load Manette.
PC for Dummies book. Thanks a lot, Jesse. Oh man. I mean, hey, I learn something different every day, Hey, Janet.
I don't have one of those books to send, Jesse. I don't.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's your friends for you. Your friends can't tell you you're a dummy. Nobody can.
Step 1, push the button to turn on. that is funny. Question: what does everybody usually use for video or vlog with? I'm looking to get one. I've got a laptop that I was using, but now I've got a regular tower, PC. It allows me to a lot more juice or a lot more speed. My new computer has 64 gigabytes of RAM and 4 terabytes of storage space, and pretty decent processor. It's even got memory on the graphics card, so it's a lot faster than my old laptop. But I was using my laptop for a long time. Step 2: make sure PC is plugged in.
Thanks, Dark Lord. I really appreciate that. Step 3 is go out and be sure you have electricity to your house, right?
Yeah. Turn on light. Make sure you're not working by candlelight.
I don't, like I said, I was just typing away on some stuff, and I, try and mess around with the banners and the brands and stuff, and I typed that in. I didn't even realize that. And I thought I first typed in, I go, where'd that go? How come it's not there? Now I know where it was. It was up there in the address label.
Yeah. Well, when you use Alt and Tab, it should alternate between the different windows that are pulled up on your computer. And by the way, Jesse says if after that it still doesn't work, Jerry, unplug it from the wall and go fishing.
That's a good one right there. I figure that, and use it as an anchor, right?
Dark Lord Manette says one of their friends is a helpline person for computers. Yeah, he's dealt with people that forget to plug it in and turn it on.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Well, there is one fella at work that man, he's challenging. His knowledge of computers. I mean, he has to write reports on a regular basis, and part of my job is to check reports. And sometimes things happen on a computer that I don't have a clue how he did that. It's messed up, it's jacked up, and sometimes I can't figure it out sometimes. So
you know what? I found if you're not making mistakes, you're not doing nothing.
Well, sometimes you don't make mistakes and you're still doing something.
Well, yeah. It's like I always tell my son, he comes up and says, "Hey, this broke." And you think I'm gonna be mad at it, and because some farm equipment broke, and I look at it and I said, "Well, let's fix it." He said, "Aren't you mad?" And I said, "No, because if nothing breaks, it means you're not doing nothing." So if you're
Well,
breaking stuff, it means you're doing, at least you're doing something. It may not be right, but you're doing
I
something.
don't know that I totally agree. If it doesn't break, you're not doing nothing. I would have a tendency to say that if it does break, it means that you were doing something,
Yeah.
but I disagree that, everything totally breaks when or that every time you do something, it's breaking. You see
Well,
what I'm saying?
around this farm, we figure if it doesn't break, God's blessed us.
There we go.
Everything seems to break around here. So if it doesn't break and it holds up, we're doing good.
I can get behind that. So the that reminds me, I'm still showing up as Belt Loop 29 Cute Critters. That's
You
kind of
are.
interesting. Well, on this one, I've got two different chats up. Let's see if this works. Sup? Yep, Belt Loop 29 Cute Critters. And if I
Oh,
do
yeah,
on this one,
you are. That's
and
why
that
you're
one,
not a mod.
well,
I've
I'm a
not made
mod
that.
on one of them. So, which is fine. That way, at least I can drop some links every now and again or something. 13. Let's see. Jesse said, I just use my iPhone 13 to video. I download them videos to my computer and use my DaVinci to do my editing. That's a good way to do it. I shoot some stuff on my phone every now and again. I also shoot some stuff on my GoPro. I even shoot stuff on my computer with I've got one of those social, whatever cams that a lot of times I'll just sit here at the computer and go into StreamYard and record something that I need to go into a video or something, especially if I'm just doing like a voiceover.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I do voiceovers, and so, or I need, in fact, that that video I did of how to, how to co-string. I shot all of it right here at the computer. And so I guess technically I got about 3 different ways to record.
Yeah. Well, uh, I didn't know yet I can hook my phone into the computer and download pictures and videos off my phone to the computer because I've never done that, And so, Devil Dog told me I could do that. And I'm like, well, I'll have to try that one of these days.
Didn't know you could do what now?
Download pictures off the phone into the computer.
Yeah.
Video too. I've never done it, so I've never, had the opportunity or the chance to try to do it, and I've just never done it.
Well, so your computer typically is going to have at least USB plugs, and you get the cord that you typically use to charge your phone. Just plug it directly in your computer typically.
Yeah, my computer will ding when I plug the phone into it, but I've never seen it. I guess I have to do is go into the files and stuff to actually see where the phone is at, and I've never done that. I've just plug it into chargers like that when stormy nights because I get notices on my phone if it's like a tornado coming in the area.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
Hey, Cindy, good to see you.
Cindy Brown, downtown Cindy Brown.
Always a pleasure to see Cindy. She's very knowledgeable. You got two of the best mods around in here today.
I know. Heather and Cindy. And Jesse. I have 3 good ones.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
It's like my whole watch group is all mods. Don't have any other people. Everybody's in here. All my mods. They're all watching each other.
Well, there's and they want to know one another too. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Well, I can tell you how to put the slow mode on.
It's too fast or something.
Well, sometimes I don't think everybody knows how to do the slow mode, but
I don't know how to do it. I've never done it, so talk me through it. I'll do it this time.
I'll show you. Why not? We sitting here.
Yep. This is what we're here for, is to learn.
We ain't doing anything special. at the moment. So,
Do we bring your page thing back up, or are you gonna?
well, if you want to see it, that's probably a good idea.
Okay, how's that?
If you go into the, well, let me back up. And just go to the dashboard. All right. If I wanted to go through and put slow mode on, obviously I'm in the studio.
Correct.
I'm gonna go to lives, because that's well, obviously you have to find the video. The only one I can put a slow mode on is an upcoming one because you can't slow down a past one.
But I should be able to slow this one down, right?
No, you don't have to. I don't think we're going too fast. D's heading out. Good to see you, D. Thank you for coming in. But if you wanted to go through and, for example, Sunday, I've got building community shout outs. And so I'm going to go to there. I'm going to go to customization. I've got a lot of options under customization. I could click on there and I could change the amount from 60 to 15 or something like that. And that's how long it's going to take me to slow it down. I don't like slow mode, especially if I'm not it doesn't affect moderators at all, but it does affect everybody else in the chat, and it can be very frustrating not to be able to say what you want to say. But if you don't want slow mode on, you just take it off. If you want to allow anybody to chat, you click on anybody. If you just want subscribers, click on subscribers and tell them how long they have to be subscribed. I've seen one where somebody did custom and put 6 years. I thought that was a little crazy, but
now I guess you could be anyone, and you put a time on that too.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can customize how long somebody has to be subscribed to you to.
Yeah, I'm subscribing, but can it be anyone that can come in and they have to be on for a couple minutes before they can start talking in the chat?
Before they can chat, that's right. And I am, for whatever reason, I'll go ahead and put them. They have to be a subscriber for 1 minute before they can chat. I think that does a couple of things. First of all, it makes sure that whoever's talking in your chat is a subscriber, obviously. But I think that will eliminate some of the folks that come in, some of the bots, that type of thing.
Yeah, which I don't even have a night bot because I don't even know how to do that one yet, or we call it Botmizzo or something like that.
Well, I'm not going to try and tell you how to do that on account of Devil Dog set mine up. I can go in there and change a few things,
right?
But I don't know enough to do it adequately or accurately, and so I'm going to recommend you talk with Eddie, or if you run into Ryan, Ryan can help you with that as well.
Yeah, I bet Jesse could probably help with that also, because I think he's done it.
Probably, he's real knowledgeable about a lot of things. So
yeah, for Santa Claus, he's pretty knowledgeable about stuff.
And I happen to have live chat and live chat replay on, so it'll show up. You can do a redirect in here, although I've only done that like one time. I don't necessarily go in here very often, but I'll save it that way. At least I don't have slow mode on. I don't like slow mode, but if I was going to do that, I would set a very short period of time, maybe 15 seconds, or just to try and slow it down a little bit.
Right.
And anyhow, I mean, it's helpful when you get a lot more people in the chat, and so
yeah, I don't have to worry about that. It seems like
Cindy says she's going to grab some ice cream. I don't blame you. I bet she's getting fish food.
I'm ready to go get some ice cream pretty soon too. Since you ate yours all this today, Gary, you don't get
it. You act like I ain't got more ice cream in the freezer.
You're not allowed to have more than one bowl a night.
I can have however much I can eat. I mean, now granted, I could not finish that chocolate therapy.
Oh, really?
Well, I ate that whole thing of Cherry Garcia, and then I started working on that chocolate therapy, and it
Was it
was
pretty chocolatey?
it was rich. It's
Really?
got chocolate, chocolate cookie, chocolate ice cream, and chocolate pudding or something like that in there, and
Wow.
it was rich.
It was rich. I used to when I used to work when I was in San Diego. I used to work at the grocery store. I was
Mhm.
in charge of the frozen food department for a couple of years,
Yeah.
and I used to stock the shelves and all that stuff. And I used to get the Haagen-Dazs ice cream would come in, and it would
Oh,
just come in whatever flavors would come in and come in, and you just throw it up on the shelf. I mean, you had a huge shelf of it. And I like Haagen-Dazs ice cream, but the chocolate chip would have I think had to be the best ice cream that ever came in there. That was Haagen-Dazs. And I get one or two sleeves of it, and I keep a sleeve back so I'd have it, be sure I never ran out. And I buy the whole sleeve and take it home.
it's ironic you would mention that because when me and Tammy first got together, they had sometimes they run specials or seasonal, where they're promoting one type or the other. And they we used to get this stuff from Haagen Dazs called chocolate mint,
Yeah, that's good. That one's
and
good too.
that was my favorite. You know, we'd get up sometimes late at night and sitting there in front of the TV, and you know, she'd have a pint and I'd have a pint. Now I don't know if she finished hers, but I pretty much always finished mine in one sit. It was just that good. But let's see, Dark Lord Dark Lord says too many ice creams have soy in them. I don't I don't get to have them. Well, I'm sorry to hear that because
She
I
must be
love
allergic to
ice cream.
soy.
She only has chocolate peanut butter gelato. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Cindy. I know you like that fish food. You was the one that told me about that to begin with, and I enjoyed that great. At least I think that was you.
Who makes that?
That's made by Ben and Jerry's.
And it's called fish food.
Yeah, PHISH food, and I have enjoyed that, but I've also had a lot of folks tell me about this Cherry Garcia, which I've looked for from time to time whenever I go shopping. I just don't do. I thought it was Cindy, and I've looked for the Cherry Garcia quite often because there was so many folks that was telling me how much they liked it. I just never, every time I went and looked for it, which granted I don't do a lot of shopping, but every time I thought about it and looked for it, I never could find any. Today, I went in and the first place I went, had it. Now the funny thing is they had Ben and Jerry's in two or three different spots. Um, so I just lucked out and found it where I was looking.
We
So
we got somebody in the basement. You ready for this?
sure,
There he is,
Jesse.
the
So,
mod father
Gary,
himself, and
so,
Lisa.
so yeah, she's in the shipping department.
Still, poor girl's been there all day.
He's hard at it, Bubba. I guess
Hey,
you got to crack that whip.
you tell Lisa. You tell Lisa if she forgets where one of them bottles of vanilla, one of them used stickers going, just give her my address.
Don't turn around, Jesse. You'll catch on fire.
I got my left eye on her. Trust me, I'm watching.
What you need to do is get you one of them apps that have the whip.
No,
Oh my lord!
so
The
I was
look
over
she
here.
gave you, I can see the lasers coming from there.
I was over here laughing my tail off over here when Gary was trying to explain to you what Alt Tab was.
I was doing Alt Tab, but it wasn't working out like I was supposed to.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying, Gary, give it up, it ain't gonna work.
Well, I'm not
at least
computer illiterate.
you can't make him drink.
I used to do programming, so I'm not
Oh.
computer illiterate. It's just that when I was doing it, it wasn't coming up like I wanted to. I kept thinking, what am I doing wrong here? Well, I had typed and went up there in the address line. I had realized that had changed up there.
All right. Anyway, so another thing I wanted to talk about was what I do. So I've been doing lives probably, quite some time now, long time now. And to this date, I have not had any bots, and I haven't had any of the pornography stuff. I hadn't hit any of that hit my lives, thank God.
That's
Anyway, and the reason
Well,
for that is because when I first started lives, the first thing they told me about doing lives is make sure you put your lives on subscriber mode, because bots are not going to sit there and wait 5 minutes to become a chatter. And when
right.
you put on subscriber mode for, let's say, 5 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you want, if somebody really wants to subscribe to you, they will, and
yeah.
they'll wait whatever time frame you put in there for them to be able to chat. And then I do slow mode for 8 seconds. That doesn't help the chat. That helps the moderators. When you put it on slow mode, that helps when I'm over here watching your chat, trying to keep track of what's going on, dropping links, whatever. When that slows it down, it's slowing it down for the moderators, not for the chat. The chat can care less about how fast it's going, because they're just going to put their comment in there. But it does help the chatters, because like D put in a comment and it just kept going on, and then y'all just overlooked it. So that's why I answered her. But she was asking you guys, what do you use for your for videotaping and such for vlogging?
Oh, yeah, see, I missed that.
I know, because the chat was moving so fast. If you had it set for like 8 seconds, it would have slowed it down to where you have a chance to go back and read the chat before you get to the next subject. Anyway, that's here nor
Okay,
there.
so I got to do that though before we go live, right?
No. Well, when you set your live up, when you put in your thumbnail and you get, hey, I want to do my live. Like for my example, mine is for tomorrow night, but I put it in a week ago.
Okay.
I always go in there in YouTube Studio, like Gary just showed you, and I set mine to subscriber mode, and I do a slow mode for 8 seconds, and
That's actually not too bad. 8 seconds, wouldn't hurt my feelings at all. But it's these people that put it on for 1 minute.
Yeah,
Man,
no,
I won't
that's a
stay
long
in a
time.
chat like that.
Yeah, that's a long time, because you may want to say something like, "Hey, Gary, how you doing?" And then after about few seconds, you go, "Hey, we're over here at such and such place to eat and whatever." It gives you a little time, but it doesn't give you time to go copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. Because there's people that are doing there and copy paste their comment 100 times for you to see it.
Yeah.
Not saying anybody in your chat's ever done that, but I've been in chats where, because I moderate for a lot of channels, and there's people in there that'll copy paste, and go blank, 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 blank. So basically, they're basically spamming the chat.
Right.
Yeah.
And that slow mode helps prevent that.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
And
Well, I'll do that next time. I'll set it up like that.
you got to do the customization before the live starts.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I say I can't do it in here now, where I'm already in live.
Right.
Jesse, I wasted an opportunity to ask you questions like that when I got a chance to meet you and Lisa down there at the
back down in Dayton.
Yeah, and I want to apologize for that. I was just so nervous about meeting the mod father. All I could do is keep talking.
No, please.
And,
It was Jesse. I'm nervous about meeting Lisa.
Yeah, no, but it was a pleasure meeting you and your wife. And I tell you what, that was the highlight of my moment, was to be able to meet Gary Butluke. It really was. I mean, Gary come all the way down from Mississippi, right?
Right.
I did.
So that was a fur piece. And I mean,
I drove about 7 hours.
Yeah, and it was a pleasure to meet everybody there. I mean, Mark Kratz, I'd never met him before, and I got to meet him and so forth. But
there were a lot of awesome people there.
Yeah, so we had a great time. And this next meetup we're going to be doing, I don't think you're going to go, are you, Gary? The one in Mid America,
No, the one over in Oklahoma. It's funny because I literally, over the last couple of years, hadn't even taken the time off, but once or twice. In fact, for me to take off that time, I had to work Christmas Day and take the next day off to come down there. That's why we didn't have it on. That's why we didn't have it. Say the previous Saturday or whatever.
Right.
Of course, I don't know, with it being right there around the holidays, it's hard for me to take off anytime anyhow.
Yeah.
And but I do enjoy I'm thinking about having one here in Mississippi where, people, if they get a chance, I don't expect anybody to drive from anywhere else, but there's quite a few. There's quite a few channels that are just around me, like Shooting Star, Mississippi, Deus Vault, Mississippi.
It's only like
Southern
about 7.
Coast.
It's only like 7 or 8 hours from here to where y'all are at.
Right, and I'm not going to ask anybody to go that far. I just, there's several people. Deal Hole is from 10 minutes away. We've got a lot of folks that are just here close.
Yeah, you got Lyndon Chuck down there. You got
Yeah, now
Danny
they're about an hour and a half from me.
Yeah,
And
These are three Mississippi close to you too?
do what now?
3 Mississippis, aren't they close?
3 Mississippi. They're southern,
they're-
right?
They are in Mississippi, but they're actually northern Mississippi a little bit.
Northern?
It's probably it's probably 2 hours from here, hour and a half, 2 hours. And I don't think while I think they would know my, they've called my name a couple times, but I don't, I've tried writing them an email before, and I don't know that I ever heard anything back. I may have, but I tried it. Some folks are just busy, and I get that.
Yeah.
Right. But if it was the right time of year, I'd drive down.
What about the Max? I'm not sure who the Max is referring to, Cindy. I do know that
about probably Mac computers.
I'm not familiar with that channel. I do know that I've just met somebody else from just really close to here from Lake County, Mississippi, called Square County Homestead. That they're pretty close. Every time I turn around, I'm meeting somebody new that's from close, and it more and more it makes me want to go through it. Just have one of those things where people come down for the day, and we meet out at the pavilion down in Florence or something, and bring some, covered dish or something, or some pizzas. I'm not sure about Max. That's Max Computer.
No, I think she's talking about the Max, the family Max, the Max.
Oh, I've met them.
The YouTube channel.
I don't know. Is that the name of the channel, the Max?
Yes, it's called the Max.
Okay. Apparently, I'm not familiar with them. They got about 206,000. It's me.
I don't
They're
know.
in Brookhaven.
Oh, cool. From
Yeah.
South Mississippi. They are from Brookhaven.
You have to hook up with them.
I put their link in the chat.
Oh, I found it. They're big enough to where they're going. But thank you, Jesse. I went ahead and subscribed to them. I'll leave this up so that I can send them an email later. Although,
Yeah, they're pretty popular. They're a pretty popular channel.
I see that.
Yeah,
206,000 people.
yeah, they're pretty big. I mean, I think they spoke at the last conference, the one in Florida. I think was it Florida. There was some conference that just took place this year that they were keynote speakers. So
well, I did go to the one in the Gulf the Gulf Coast.
It may have been the one. It may have been the one in Pennsylvania, the one up there on the East Coast that Leanne went to.
Okay. I think Cog Hill and David the Good was over at the one that me and Tammy went to.
Yeah.
Down in Cindy Brown's been sub to them since they were only at 2,500. That's pretty cool.
Wow, Cindy.
Wow.
That's a long time.
That is.
Because now they add a couple zeros now.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Well, I would love for them to come to the meetup. I say the meetup. I hadn't even planned it yet. I've been looking at when rainfall and temperatures and figure out a good time. But I don't want it to conflict as well with the folks that's going to that meetup out in Oklahoma. But maybe a week after it or before it, or I don't know.
Yeah. So they've been. Mike and Terry started that about six months ago. They started talking that one up and stuff, and it's just blown up. I mean, there's like 75 YouTube channels, and I don't know.
79. It was 79 last Wednesday.
Okay, so 79 channels that are going to be there, and I don't know how many subscribers are going to be there. So they got all that. They got tons of sponsorship. We got a fishing contest that they're going to be having on Saturday. They'll have the meet and greet on Saturday from 10 to 2. It's a pretty big event. It's just blossomed. Been a lot of people that are helping out, like JB Conway from Pure Okie. Then there's Sandra Medrano. She's the one getting all the sponsorships, like from Atwoods and Bass Pro Shop, Walmart, a bunch of different places. She's getting sponsors.
That is so cool.
Yeah, and when they first started talking about the meetup, everybody was on their own. You had take care of your own breakfast, your own dinner, your own lunch, and now they're to the point where they're going to be providing almost every dinner. I mean, almost every meal.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, because they had sponsorships.
Dark Lord made a statement. I know the feeling of being subbed to to the ones that were tiny before 2020. They exploded since, and now it's like they forgot us that have been there since the start. I've got a couple thoughts on that, and I'm a small channel. All right. Now granted, I am subscribed to a whole lot more channels. Some of them a little bit larger. Quite a few of them are a little bit smaller. But the one thing I do know is that the time constraints or the time requirements on me have changed since I started. And I'm not going to act like I don't know anybody. Now, there are certain people that I've learned certain things about since I started, doing this, and, like, hey, I love everybody. But sometimes you learn something about somebody, and that makes you think twice a little bit, especially if they've done this or they've done that. And, hearsay is one thing, but somebody shows you a video or something, and that, I found somebody, I used to, have somebody, I've had somebody on my chat today, not today, but, a while back, that from what I understand, I've seen video where he was literally exposed himself on somebody else's, thing. He didn't on mine. But, and it's not that, it's not that I'm trying to persecute him. If I did, I'm not trying to persecute anybody. But I do care enough about the people that are on my channel, and I do care enough about my channel to where, I'm not going to have that person on again. And, I don't know how I got down this rabbit hole.
It's all right. Squirrel.
Well, I'll tell you this.
If
you can look in your analytics, but you can see in your analytics who subscribed to you if they're not a private. They don't have their channel as private. Yeah. But I have a channel that follows me that has 60,000 subscribers. Now, why would somebody from 60,000 subscribers follow me? They watch our videos and they even leave comments. But I mean, when you have 60,000 subscribers or more, you're going to be busy. You're going to be really busy, and there's no way you can watch you get 60. There's no way you can watch everybody or comment back to everybody. I'm still young. I'm still little channel. I can reply to almost everybody that comments on my videos. But when you get to 60,000 and you have 100, let's say 1,000 comments, there's no way you can comment or reply to 1,000 comments. And somebody like Dark Lord Amendment may comment, and I understand this. And if they don't reply, then you feel like, well, they forgot about us. Well, it's not that they forget about you. It's just it's so time consuming to even reply to some of the comments.
Hey, I've got 2,000 subscribers, and there are still days where I have to spend 2 hours trying to respond to comments. So
Justin, you're bigger than Gary. I mean, you're in the 3,000, right? Or 5,000.
No, I'm smaller than Gary.
Well, I'm just saying
I'm at 1347.
I'm just
Oh, I
saying
thought you
that
were higher than that.
it's hard to respond to reply to every comment, but I do it. Now I
Yeah.
may not always get it in a timely manner, but at some point, I will respond to every comment.
Yeah, I try
Unless,
to. I really do. I really try to, but sometimes it's hard. There's days when I first put a video out, and 2 hours later, I have 100. I have 100 comments. Well, and I try to go through and answer every one of them, but it's hard, and it gets harder and harder the more videos you put out. If you're putting
Right.
out one a month, no big deal. But you're putting out one a week or one a day,
yeah,
that it gets the more content you put out, the harder it is to respond to videos. And I know it seems, negligent, and it seems like you don't care, but it's not that. It's just that you're too busy doing your other stuff. And here's the thing: I'm retired, so I have the time. But there's people who are still working, like Gary. You still have to put in an 8-hour job, 8-hour day somewhere, and then do YouTube, and then respond and make videos. And it's just very time consuming. And it's sad that people like the Max have 200 something thousand subscribers, and they can't respond to everybody, but they have a homestead to run.
yeah.
So
And I'm sorry about that, Dark Lord Manette. I really am. If I don't know what to tell you other than sometimes
yeah,
it's hard to look at from
Uh,
all perspectives. I always try to make it a point. I've got to where I can hardly, even with what I'm doing, I can and granted, I could spend less time chatting in live streams, and I could spend less time, doing live streams. And thank you for coming in, JKS, and wiping your feet. Um,
Hey, Kevin.
but I guess but I've gotten to where I can hardly watch much in the way of videos and pay attention to them. I have people's playlist running all the time, but to actually sit and even when I'm these days when I'm in the live stream, a lot of the time I'm sitting there multitasking trying to get something done. Um, when I was in the live stream earlier tonight listening to Jerry, I was listening to it, but I was also, I had a video I had to get, ready. So I was also in the process of editing a video. Which reminds me, I don't even know if I sent it to the my right channel.
so Gary, so let this be a lesson to all of us. Jerry, thank you for making this video tonight, because I learned that no matter how big I get, I'm not going to forget Xander. Xander, you're always be remembered. No matter how big I get, I'm going to always shout you out.
Yep.
I'm going to try never to forget you, Bubba.
But when I started this, I told Susan, I said there may be days that I spend 8 hours in here answering comments, and I haven't had any videos that had 100 comments. I've had only had 20, 30 of them, and I may not go back and put a comment. I may just say thank you, on there, or I just give a heart or something like that. But I try to read all of them and let people know that I am responding to them, because without the people, we don't have a channel.
And just remember, Dark Lord Amendment is Italian, and he knows a guy. Guarantee.
Well, I do know I'm scatterbrained at the best of times, and trying to keep up with the conversation up here on the panel and in the chat is a very difficult. In fact, most of the time I lose track of one or the other.
And think about this, Gary. We do a live. We have 50 to 80 people in the chat, and I do it with Lisa. So Lisa and I together have a hard time. Can you imagine you by yourself?
Yeah.
I can only imagine. Without Lisa, there's no way I keep up with the chat. No way. And if you go to some chats, I've been a Simple Life for Claim, and they got like what, 30,000. I'm not sure how many they have, but their live runs like a ticker tape.
I believe it.
It's rolling and rolling and rolling. There's no way they can keep up with every comment.
I've seen some of those lives. I've been on Arms Family Homestead, and the lives are just going. I sit there and go like, oh, hi, you can't get a word in edgewise.
Everybody's 400 or 500 people in the live at one time.
Yeah, and I think, wow, that's got to be breathtaking to have that many people who are willing to come and watch you, let alone them making a comment.
I will say you this also, that one of the reasons, hey, I really do watch when I go into a live stream. It's usually, a smaller channel's live stream. I'm not going to go into somebody who's got, 500,000 typically. Now, once in a blue moon, if it's somebody I followed for a long time, there's a possibility I may jump in. But even then, I've noticed that you're going to get overlooked, and I just learned to expect that. But if I go into a live stream and it's a small channel, usually you get one of three different reactions. I've had people that were very, very wary, I guess you'd say, of anybody new.
Yeah.
Because they're used to people being trolls, I guess. You got other people that are very inviting and very welcoming. I try to be that in my lives. And you have other people that just tend to ignore you. Now, and I don't like that either. Unfortunately, like I said, I'm so scatterbrained. I have a tendency. I try to pay attention to the chat, but I'm not really that good at it.
Yeah, I can imagine how much better you'd be if you had your wife sitting by, helping you out. It would be a whole lot better for you if she was there to help you screen the chat. I couldn't do it without Lisa. I mean, I really couldn't. I mean, I could do it live, but it wouldn't be the same.
But you know what you're saying, Gary? I guess when Jesse hits that number, we won't be watching him because he's too fat. He's too big for us, huh?
No, I'll never be too big.
I'll always be there.
Well, I am too big. I'm too big for you. Yeah, you're right.
It's up to you guys. When you guys hit that, 500,000 subscribers, I'll still be there, picking away that shit.
So Dark Lord Xander says, and they don't put the slow mode on. He's talking to Simple Life Reclaim. So they could put the slow mode on, but it's not going to change much because slow mode is only affecting the repeat chat. So for somebody going there, make a comment, then make another comment, then make another comment, it prevents that. That's what slows it down. But all new comments that come in, it's going to continue to go the same speed. And when you got 400 or 1,000 people in their chat making comments, one of my favorite channels that I watch, and I watch them religiously. I've watched from the very beginning video to one they put out today. And I'm religious with this channel. It's called Victory Outdoor Services. The guy's name is Ryan. He's a cement worker. He does cement work, and I love watching that channel because you watch him from the time he leaves the house in the morning to the time he gets home, and he shows everything because he wears a head cam on his hat, and when he does a live, that chat's just rolling. I can get in there and say hello, Ryan. But he probably wouldn't even see it. That's how fast it's moving. But I still love his videos, and I watch his videos religiously because of the content, not because I want him to recognize me. If he doesn't know me from Adam, that's fine. I'm watching him for his content.
Right.
No,
I know that on my fireman lives, I can't see the chat, and Devil Dog told me a secret I should do, which is put my earbud in and put him in or you and Jesse who can read the chats, who will be there, and then they can read it and I can still answer it, which would be great. It never dawned on me. I never thought about that before until he told me that. And I thought, well, I'll try that next month, and see if I can answer people's questions.
So we've done that. Tony from Creekside Maples.
Right.
We've done that. So what I'll do is I'll call him, we'll Instagram call, and I'll be in his earbud. And then I'll be watching the chat and say, hey, Gary from Belt Loop just popped in. He's asking a question. And then he'll go and see, so he hears me, and then he responds to whatever command or whatever I try to tell him. But it depends on what's going on. And we don't do it every live, but there's some lives, he says, hey, I may need some help today. And then I'll help him by putting myself in his earbud.
Right. I understand that. Well, I didn't think about that until Belt Loop told me. I mean, Devil Dog told me that, and I went like, "Oh, yeah, I guess I could have done that." He goes, "You can answer them. They'll ask a question, you answer them." And what I normally have done is come home, sit down, and rewatch the live. and look at the answer, the questions, and go back and email or text the people the answers in the try to answer them if they left a question.
Hey, I want to say Dark Lord Manette said that they could do 200 words a minute. You know, that is flying. I can do
Hey,
like 65, 70, and I can already I've typed most of the folks I know, but that is flying.
Yeah, he's a very quick typer. I can tell.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think I could type maybe 20 words a minute.
yeah. I'm over here going THANKYOU.
We do, Lawrence. We do encourage and try to help everybody. The problem, as I see it, though, is I'm so scatterbrained sometimes. I may miss somebody, and it's never intentional. But even when I pick the last 24 hours, mistakes doesn't count. Still, 200 words a minute that's flying. But still, I have gone through on more than one occasion, stated that the last 24 hours, these are the people that commented on my videos. And I've had long lists of people that commented on videos, and I would recognize every one of them. And I still had people that would comment and say, well, I don't see my name on there. You must not care about me, or something like this. It's, even though they hadn't commented, or at least I hadn't seen one. Now, it is also true that YouTube don't always show you every comment for whatever reason. Some of them don't show up. I've seen comments from over a year old show up.
Well, let's be honest. Gary's put out quite a bit of videos. I don't know if you guys have been to his channel. He's got quite a bit of videos. I have not watched them all. There's no way I can watch everybody's video. And he knows I love Gary to death, but I haven't watched all his videos, and he hasn't watched all my videos. I don't expect him to. There's no way I can expect somebody to watch all my videos, and it's because, life happens. You have a life, and there's no way you can watch everybody's video. And there's people that do that, but they'll go watch first and then speed up and watch a little bit and then speed up and watch. I mean,
are they scared?
Yeah. And sometimes that's what you got to do to watch part of the video to get the gist of the video. But
on top of that, Jesse, we're making content too. I mean, for us to go make content and watch somebody's video and then to do shorts or do lives, you have no time to watch a lot of videos. I mean, I have a lot of people like to watch. I like to watch your stuff. I like to watch scary stuff. Devil Dogs and the other channels that are the other two bigger channels I watch, and I don't get to watch them that often, because I just don't have the time.
Yeah,
I do appreciate everybody that watches any of my content, but I also understand that if my content is interesting enough, you'll be gripped to your seat. If it's not, that's okay. You watch some of it and you move on to something else. That's, I either should make better content or just understand that, and I've got about 1,000 videos out there, and there ain't no way, considering how many of them is, 2, 3, 4, I've got 24-hour live. I don't expect anybody to watch, 8 hours or 12 hours of video.
Yeah.
Right. I got a video coming out tomorrow morning. It's 21 minutes, and I'll edit videos, but this video was Susan out checking the goats and the cows, and she's talking the whole time. And so in order to edit it, I have to cut out what she's saying. And if I cut out what she's saying, the video is not going to make any sense. It's going to be hodgepodge together and proving what's wrong with her. So I just left it,
Well, you can overdub too if you want to cut some.
Yeah, I could have probably done that, but I thought she did such a pretty good job of checking the goats and the cows and stuff. I just thought, I'll let her run, because she did it like at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning when the sun was just coming up, and checking out the things. And I thought, I'm just gonna let it run as it is, and it's 21 minutes and 50 seconds long. I said, well, people are gonna watch what they're gonna watch. That one video I have, that's 20,000 views. If you go and look at the average watch time of it is less than 2 minutes. It's a 20-minute video, but they watch 10% of it.
Well, that kind of goes back to what I was talking about.
Xander, you don't have to do lives at home. You can get in your car and do a live. as you know, at least what I've done. So you don't have to be at home to do a live. So yes, you can do a live by yourself in your car if you drive. I don't know if you drive or not, but if you drive.
So is Dark Lord Xander?
Xander, yeah.
Oh, okay. And that's the first time I heard it. I heard that the two together. That's him. Okay, I got it now. Nice to meet you. I always called him Dark Lord. I didn't know what his name was. So
Dark Lord. Yeah. I've been seeing them for a long time.
Oh yeah, so I've seen him since day one.
One thing about Xander, they're very faithful. They're very. They watch all our videos. He's always in our lives. Heck, when we were going to Oregon and back, he was almost on every live that we did on the road. So he's very committed. When he commits to follow your channel and help you out, he's there all the time.
I was in the back seat almost all those on that trip. I got sores to sit in the back seat all the way up to Oregon and back.
Yeah, him and Linda were fighting in the back seat.
Yeah, him and Linda were fighting in the back seat.
Couldn't help it, you know. She kept taking my spot.
Yep, I was going to have to put you in each corner. Poor Toby in the middle.
Linda's a nice person.
Yeah.
Well, that's shame.
That's a true statement there, Cindy Brown. Very dedicated. And you know what? Xander is a brainstorm of knowledge. The boy knows a lot. I mean, he is just filled with knowledge. He's been around. I can tell he knows his stuff. So when he's saying something, it's because he's either lived it, gone through it, knows about it, been there, done that, bought the T-shirt, you know.
Wore the T-shirt out.
And wore the T-shirt out. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I got to change my camera set or something because I keep doing like this and y'all can't see.
Well, so I don't know how you have your setup. Gary, I was going to ask you about that. So here's the thing. Whenever we do a live, I like the camera right in front of us. So that when we're looking at the chat, the camera, it's like I'm talking to you. But if I turn this way and I start talking, it just takes the personal part of it out of it. Now I'm talking like to a wall and not talking to the chat. I mean,
right.
I'm not.
You want to know why I do it this way?
No, I'm not saying that that's a bad deal. It's just to me, I think it's more personal when I'm looking at the chat. And
I don't disagree with you, Jesse.
Yeah.
But I can tell that you like to know.
You can't disagree with me. No, you can't disagree with me because I know where you live. Okay.
Okay.
No, I'm just joking.
Well, all right. Let me explain. When I was doing things with my laptop, I was looking straight at it because that's where the camera is and that's where the screen is. Now, when I set this thing up though, the way the laptop is sitting, the green screen's right here behind me.
Right.
All right. Out here is wall, and there is a couch right here that Nikki's laying down on sleeping. And I got the box from the computer and the monitor and
Yeah.
all this other stuff.
It's called life, Gary. It's called life.
Right. It's life. And but my new computer is set up. I took my old monitor and put it right here where I'm looking at. And it's harder to see on there. That just happens to be where I set it, and I put my new monitor right over here. Yeah. So if I looked at my new monitor, which I can see really well, I'd be like this. And, all you'd see is my profile. So I put it over here on this one so at least you can see part of my face. Because if I put the camera on the new monitor so that I can see it and, look at the camera at the same time, it's going to show this couch and all this dirty room that I hadn't bothered cleaning up. And so at least this way I got my green screen right here.
Yeah.
I'm kind of paying attention. There's the chat right there. There's the StreamYard right there in front of me. And so it.
But Gary, what good is a green screen if it's always black?
Well, I like that. I'm the man in black.
You're the man standing in front of black.
Batman. You're the Batman.
The Batman, baby. And
he's in the Batcave. I like the Batcave though. When you show the Batcave, I like that.
But look what Cindy says on the page.
All right, let me see.
Look on the screen.
Cheap ones have given me. Well, this ain't. I don't think this is a cheap green screen.
No, what's on the screen on the
No, up two of them, Gary. We said, look where Jesse's highlighted it.
Look at StreamYard.
A viewer feels disconnected when you aren't faced. Hey, I'm working on getting me a green screen behind me so I can put my thing right there on my new computer screen and do it. I'm working on it. I just ain't there yet. So, but I tell you what, this might help a little bit. There we go. Now y'all feel like an ice cream shop. So
yeah. I didn't mean to point that out, Scott. You brought it up.
I'm all right with it.
Now that you mentioned it.
I
just feel like, I mean, here's the deal. I didn't go live for a long time, but when I did, I noticed the two things. I watched Creekside and I watched MT Homestead, and they're always looking at the chat and and they got the camera. And I just got a little old $40 camera, $40 camera that's mounted on a little tripod, a tiny tripod, and it sits right in front of it's sitting right in front of my monitor, but I got the chat right behind me, right behind the camera, so I can look at the chat and the camera at the same time. And it just to me it just seems more personal when I'm looking at that instead of looking away at Lisa or looking at, if I'm over here looking at this other computer, it just disconnects me from.
Well, you have other screens though too, Jesse. So you're looking at more than one screen.
I have 3 monitors.
So yeah, but you're looking at more than one screen, correct?
Correct.
So yeah, so I've got one screen that sits over here on my right side. Right. And it looks like to your left, but it's on my right side, you know, and I've got my screen and my computer, my camera, which is just a webcam camera, right, which I found out today actually has a microphone in it, which I never knew.
Yeah, they do. But in mine same way. But like I said, I like to put the StreamYard right in front, right behind the camera. So
right. That's why I've got
when I'm talking to Cindy Brown, I'm talking to Cindy Brown.
I'm planning on that, Jesse. As soon as I can hang me part of my green screen right here, so I can move my camera over to my new thing, and it won't show this dirty room, and I can still use my green screen effects. So that is in the works. It's just something I'm working on. Cindy,
I'm not trying to get you in trouble, but Gary, trust me, I'm not.
No, I was just going to talk about that. That green screen isn't necessarily green screen. On some of these programs, they have, in fact, on here, you could go through and just put on there for a background to appear, and it kind of works, but not real well. The way that this is set up right here is actually a green screen. In fact, I can turn it. Let me turn the chroma key off, and you will see exactly what I'm talking about. There we go. So if there's a green screen right here that allows me to have other things up here that for better effects, so to speak. Better illusion, I guess you'd say.
I think what she's saying is like, see my screen, Gary, where there's a little bit of fuzzy on the side of my face. Yeah. Because I have my virtual background. I think that's what she's talking about, the flickering edges.
Right.
Which I understand. That's why
I mine through OBS though. Yeah. And OBS does a much better job of creating the illusion of the background.
So that's why I bought myself a green screen. I just haven't set it up yet.
Well, it helps. It really does. Let me turn my filter back on so I can have the illusion of being in the ice cream shop.
It makes you feel like you eat more ice cream that way. So Jesse, I hear your voice is still a little raspy.
Who, mine?
No, Jesse's is.
Oh, okay.
Not look, he's talking, it's not coming out anymore.
I'm sorry, I had myself on mute because I was coughing. No, I'm a whole lot better now than I was a week ago, but boy, it's been a rough 2 weeks for Lisa and I.
It had to be that desert, that desert air and dust.
Well,
No, I don't
Yeah.
think so.
no, we were fine through the whole trip there and back. It was when we got back home, and we went
Yeah, I got
to.
back home to all that clean air.
Well, we went back. We went to the nursing home where my mom was at. Not nursing home. It's a care facility for coming out of for rehab, and I think we picked something up there because that's the only place we've been. We ain't been nowhere.
Well, at least you're healthy enough that you guys fought through it.
Yeah,
Well, we're
And it
not,
could have been worse, you
we're not
know.
over it yet, but we're still battling. But yeah, definitely. My voice is hoarse or raspy.
It's hoarse. Yeah, it's a little horsey.
Hmm.
worse today than yesterday.
I'm
Yeah.
still
Lisa
here.
sounds-
Just
Lisa sounds real good back there still. I mean, I know she's got snotty noses up, but she still sounds like she's back in the shipping department still.
Yeah,
Well,
she.
yeah, really, I'm just sitting
Yeah.
here debating on.
I-
I can't get motivated.
I could go ahead and green screen her so y'all don't see her, but I don't want to do that. I mean,
Oh, no.
my personal opinion is, I
She's
think,
a part of the channel.
yeah,
Right.
She's a big part, just like
Right.
Susan's a big part of mine.
yeah,
That's why we did the interview today. You saw the interview,
yeah,
and so I was going to do the interview myself, and I said, no, you got to be part of it because you're actually my star, because you do all the on camera stuff. So that what you be there. So she came in too, and I thought it was a pretty good interview.
yeah. I think your green screen scared.
well, the green screen. The more I get into this thing, the more options it shows, and I try to be more entertaining than just me sitting in here in an old beat up recliner, and so
Thank you, Heather.
which is the way I was doing it at one point.
Yeah,
And I try to make sure. Well, I try to improve on all the different things I do, and sometimes that means working on doing a better thumbnail. Sometimes that means working on the format of my how I lay out my videos, or using more than one camera, or sometimes that paying attention to the different shots I'm making, or I try to do better and be consistent in getting better, even though right now one of the things my focus has been on really has been like thumbnails, and I think they're getting better, but who knows. I'm just trying to do a better job at what I'm doing.
That's all we ever can do is try to do better.
Yeah. And well, I'd like to produce content. I honest to goodness would like to produce content that people enjoy. I don't want, it's not like I don't want people to watch content just because they like me. I would like them to enjoy me and the content. When the highlight of my week is a video about me cutting the grass, I can't imagine anybody enjoying, the grass cutting.
believe me, there's guys that do that, and they got videos with thousands of subscribers. All they do is cut grass.
Yeah.
Don't talk in or anything.
Don't underestimate. I put a YouTube up of my dog, and one day I got 2,000 views. He was just sitting there, no big deal.
It's short. Huh?
You just don't know what people are going to watch.
Yeah, it's short.
That's true.
It was a short. I'm just saying, but I mean, there's channels out there that's all they do is cut grass, and they got thousands of viewers. And it's not about the subscribers. Remember, it's the views. When you see a video, guy may have 100 subscribers, but he got 250,000 views on one video of him cutting grass. That's what YouTube looks at. That's what they want, because they want to put commercials on that video.
Oh, Katie from Temple Acres.
Templin,
Acres.
yeah.
She came in a couple weeks ago, asked a bunch of questions, and we answered a bunch of questions for her. And I guess she's had her channel for a long time, and she stopped doing it for a while, and she started back up again. And I'm hoping she gets bigger quicker.
Yeah.
So she back up to full strength again. Oh.
Well, I'm trying to work on something that will allow me to look straight at the thing, even though it's a smallest monitor I got.
Yeah.
And
Well, like I said, I got an external camera. I just use a separate camera that's just focused on Lisa and I whenever we do our lives, and I put it right in front of my monitor. I know it's if you're looking
So, I'm sorry, Jesse. Go ahead.
if you're looking at the screen, it still makes it look like I'm looking at the camera, and it just kind of gives us a little bit more of a I'm looking at you, talking to you kind of presentation, as opposed to looking away. And what Gary's doing there, I think that would drive me crazy if I kept doing this on my
Back and
lives.
forth. I kind of glance over at the other screen just to see if I'm missing something.
It would drive people crazy. It really would.
Well,
all right.
Cindy Brown, what she says she likes this lawn care juggernaut channel, and she wrote down the next one. She loves this channel. What is it that you like about lawn care juggernaut that is so interesting? I'd like to know.
It's really simple. I'm the same as Cindy. We love the befores and afters. You see something that's just looks like it's been in shambles for years, and it comes out looking like a brand new place. It's just the befores and afters. I mean, and the work also that they take to do that, but everybody loves before and afters. That's why these HGTV videos on flipping houses is so popular, because people like the before and afters.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to do more of that. Like when I cut the hay and stuff before we cut the hay and after we cut the hay.
Exactly. You do a video on what it looks like before you put that mower out there, and then after, and then in between you can what do you call it? What's it called?
Windrows?
No, not fast forward. You can time lapse it, your video. Just here's the before, talk about it, and then put it on time lapse, and then here's the after. Because nobody wants to sit through you going back and forth on a row 300 times. So you time lapse it, and then you bring up the end of it. Anyway, I think it's there.
How you doing, Gary? Oh, I muted him.
Thank you, Cindy. I was drawing a blank.
I need to unmute him.
Let me see. No, see, if he mutes himself in StreamYard, you can't unmute him.
Oh,
but if you mute him, then you can unmute him. So he has to unmute himself.
Oh, okay.
Well, I had my other one. All right, hang on.
He's doing something different.
Yeah, he's got probably a couple screens open.
Yeah, he's twice in the basement. So
yeah.
Well,
now that's a beautiful backdrop he's got there.
I like that. That's pretty.
Yeah, that looks nice.
Do what? You want to see the other one back up?
There.
Oh, okay.
I don't.
He's trying something. Well,
One of them down.
which one do you want down? This is the other one? There you go. Yeah.
That should solve that.
Yep.
I did it. That was it.
All right. Well,
I did a video of cutting hay, and I I'm still learning on the cameras, and I had a GoPro in there and trying to time lapse it and stuff, and it was hard to do sometimes, trying to figure out how to do it and try to get the hay cut. And Susan's not as technical as I am, and I'm not as technical as Lee is, so it all depends.
Are you familiar with a channel called 20 Acre Farms? What's his name? Tim. Surviving Maine on 20 Acre Farm. His name's Tim Mayberry. Tim Mayberry. Anyway, he's got a channel. He lives in Maine, and he's got a farm. He shows you how when he runs his wood mill. He shows you when he's plowing, getting ready for planting season, when he's harvesting, and he's got these old tractors. So I like watching him because he's showing you how these old tractors work. But it's
Right.
just the fact that he's showing you with his GoPro, he'll clip it on, and you can see how those old tractors work to plow the ground or to pull up potatoes or whatever. But he's showing you that, and it's just very interesting to me. I mean, it's they call that ASMR, that where you can watch something over and over and over, and it's just like you're mesmerized.
Yeah.
So
Well, like I said, I'm still learning all this stuff, and when I get this GoPro figured out, I may do. I'll be able to do a time lapse on that, maybe.
Cindy
I know.
loves hay cutting views, so if Cindy loves it, there's probably thousands of people that like watching that.
Yeah, I've got one out there where I cut a bunch of hay and baled it all up, and had the hay. That was last year, and I'll be doing more of that because my channel is basically about what we do on the farm.
Exactly. So that's what your content should be mainly about. Things, your everyday life of what happens on the Butler family farm.
And that's basically what we try to put on what we do, our everyday stuff. We don't put on the stuff when we're sitting in the house because it's pouring rain outside. We can't get out. Or like today, you looked at my place. You think I had a lake house?
That's it, Cindy. Thank you so much for putting that up. His name is Tim Mayberry. He's got his wife has a nursery, and she puts out. They do flowers and all kind of stuff, plants for wholesale, right? They sell it to different places, but you got an excellent place there.
I'll have to check it out. I clicked on it so I can look at it later.
Yeah, he's in a lot of chats. I see him in a lot of people's chats. But he's busy. I mean, he's got a lot of people too, but he's dedicated to he's like probably got 500 videos.
Yeah.
So he's been doing
okay, here too. I mean, he's got 573 videos. He's got 1.7K subscribers.
Yep. But he's got great to me, and he's old guy. He's more laid back, and I like the way he does his videos. No, he's no Simple Life Reclaim. He's no some of these guys that put on these great presentations. No, he just does. This is what I do on my farm, and this is what I want you to see, and he shares it with you.
Cindy Brown
editing.
I'm sorry, Cindy Brown brought up the link to my cutting my first hay of my own with my own machine and stuff. She must like watching hay cutting because that's where that one's at. That's about cutting hay.
Yep. There's another guy that cuts hay that I watched that I just started watching. He's down from South Texas, and I can't remember his channel name. Let me see if I wrote it down here. But yeah, he started watching, and he watched some beautiful stuff too.
Well, you know Mitchell, right, Jesse?
Yeah, I know Mitchell from Hendricks Family Farm.
Yeah, and I was talking to him the other day, and he said that I said, "Have you ever done any videos of cutting hay?" Has that one where you have it looking at the small square bale hay? He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I was doing that. I did that, and the camera fell inside, and I baled it up." And I said, "Oh, really?" I said, "Did it come out okay?" He said, "Yeah, it came out okay." He goes, "But I've never showed that video." I go, "Why?" That would be funny to see that going through the machine, and then he said, "Well, I had to open up 20 bales to find the camera after I'd gone through the baler and baled up. He had to open up 20 bales, cut them open. They're small squares, but he had to cut them open to find the camera." And I said, that would be funny to watch because, people would hear you talking and go, "I know this camera's here someplace," and watch it go through the machine, come out the other side. Sure, it's wrapped in the hay. He's looking at bales. He's talking up a storm. He goes, "I got some cuss words on it." I said, "Just blank them out, beep them out." So I'm hoping he comes out with that video because I think it'd be funny in the heck. To see, I'd love to see that because what's the chance of you actually seeing somebody going through the machine and how it actually works inside? And it actually came out where the camera didn't get hurt at all, which is amazing. My kind of luck. That happened if I did that on purpose, something like that it'd go through and cut it right in half or something. Anyways, I'm hoping he puts that out. So I asked him to make it. And he said he'd think about it, but I think he'd get a lot of views on it.
Well, my goal is to put out interesting content eventually. That's
I think
And you know what? The videos that you think, they're not going to like this video, but I'm going to put it out anyway. Those end up doing better than some of the ones you think that they're going to like.
yeah.
Trust me.
sometimes.
So don't cut yourself short.
You know, I look at it this way: put all the content out there, and if they don't like it, they don't like it. If they, you don't like it, they're probably gonna like it because we're always our worst critics.
You see what
No worst
Cindy Brown
critic.
is saying? You see what Cindy Brown is saying
Yeah,
about pros and cons?
yeah, that would be awesome. I think it'd be. I gotta tell Mitchell to put that out because he tells me he's got it. I keep telling him, "Would you just put it out there?" And he won't. He said, "Well, I'm going to have to beep out stuff." I said, "So beep out some stuff."
Yeah, rounds make a better marshmallow.
That's what I use, big rounds.
Yeah.
That feed my animals. I have a square baler too, and
But do you wrap them?
yeah. I wrap them with netting. I net wrap.
But some people wrap them up in Oregon. We were just up there. They had a bunch of them. They were white. They had some kind of a white cover over.
The ones that it depends on when you wrap them. If you wrap them when they're dry, they're still good hay. If you wrap them when they're wet, they become haylage because they ferment, and you only can feed those to cows. And so, depending on what kind of, if it's a wet wrap or a dry wrap, when you wrap them, that's what you end up getting. And I have horses and donkeys. I can't feed haylage to them.
Right.
Only the cows can eat the haylage.
Yeah.
So I just dry wrap everything and try to put it all in the barn and keep it all dry so I can feed it to anybody.
Yeah.
I did have a friend of mine who I bought hay from this year. They wrapped a bunch of hay in plastic wrap. And I said, "Well, is this haylage?" He goes, "No, I waited until it was dry and I wrapped it because it's cheaper than having built in a barn." And it kept all the weather off. It was cheaper that way. I said, "Oh, that's a good idea." And I asked him. He said, "Well, what's it?" Well, the wrapper itself is like $20,000 for a wrapping machine. So it's like well, $20,000 for a machine or $20,000 for a barn.
But okay, so I'm not a farmer, but isn't there an avenue for farmers to rent equipment? By the season.
It's hard. There's not in this area. I don't know. There may be another place. I'm not saying there's not, but in this area, we've got heavy equipment, rentals. They have, maybe a trailer that you rent a trailer, and but there's no like seeders to rent. There's no balers to rent. Nobody has that. No rakes to rent. They don't have a lot of those people doing that because those are machines that break down a lot, and so they don't want to rent them because it costs them so much money to fix them all the time. They don't think they get their money out of them, so they don't do that. I said they may do it other places, but here they don't.
I've never seen a wrap bale.
You've never seen a wrap bale in plastic?
Wrap bale in anything. They've got it strung. They've got it tied with string down here, and that's what they use.
You've never seen a net wrap?
No.
Well, you have to watch one of my videos when you see my net wrapping. It's nylon net wrapping. It goes over the edge.
Well, we get a couple bales pretty regularly, but it's usually, it's always just tied up with two strings.
String tied. Yeah. You get square bales.
Yeah, we get square bales because that's about all I can fit in my truck, and we need them for the goats typically.
The square bales are usually string wrapped or wire tied or string tied. And my baler is a wire tied. It actually uses baling wire to tie the bales. And I use my square baler when I did alfalfa because you have to be careful how much alfalfa you feed the animals because alfalfa causes bloat.
Right.
So I use my square baler for tying alfalfa, but my other baler I use for wrapping or baling up big bales of hay because there are 1,000-pound bales to feed the cows.
Yeah, I use alfalfa. We use alfalfa pellets to feed the goats, but I also use alfalfa pellets as mulch and combination fertilizer for my plants. So,
but alfalfa is not any good unless you have Spanky to go with it.
Well, that's true. You got to have in
Buckwheat. You gotta have buckwheat. You gotta have alfalfa.
buckwheat,
You gotta have
Darla, that
Mhm.
whole crew. You got to have them come out and perform a little bit. But I do take that alfalfa pellets and put them around, and it does feed, as they decompose, it'll feed the plants, the pepper plants and tomato plants nitrogen.
Right.
Does a good job at that. Although I also have a tendency to put, hay around them from time to time. I'll, just whatever I can mulch them with, and then I also go through and feed them like a not kale, kelp style fertilizer, or a weed tea or bunny honey tea, that type of thing. We feed them a couple different things, but anyhow, that's neither here nor there. I still ain't seen no wire baled hay.
Yeah, I've
You know, square. You ever see wire bale square hay?
not wire. I've seen them. I've seen them
Oh.
with the strapping, but not the
So
wire.
that's because those are the newer balers. That there's the string to right. Mine's an older baler. It happens to make the ones that were probably 20 years ago, and my machine's probably 30 years old. When you're a poor farmer, you buy old equipment and you make it work.
Yeah, but it probably breaks down or easier to fix if it does break down.
It is easier to fix. Yes,
Yeah.
it's just like the tractors. My older John Deere tractor was a 1975. When it breaks down, it's easier to fix. There's no electronics. My newer tractor, which is a New Holland, and it's 100 horsepower, it's got more electronics on it. And when it breaks down, I have to take it to somebody to fix it because I don't have the computers to hook it up to figure out what's wrong with it.
Yeah.
Cindy, yes, I guess kind of. We do have worms, and worm beds here at the house. In fact, I did a video. It's an old video now, but it was a year or two ago on how to make a worm bed. I got Tammy. Actually, that's one of the few videos I got Tammy in, and it's all about, she did a thing. She used to give, my wife is a master gardener, and she has been for about 9 years, 9, 10, 11 years. I don't know how long, but she's been and she's given the talk on how to do a worm bed many times with the master gardeners. But yeah. Sorry, I hope that answers the question.
I did worm beds underneath my rabbits when I was put myself in high school. I used to raise rabbits, and I had worm beds underneath them. And I used to sell the worms by the handfuls, like $2 for a handful of worms for people who would go fishing and stuff. And man, those worms they multiply more than rabbits do.
Yeah.
We use these for compost. And a lot of times we'll take the worm compost and make what's known as vermicompost tea, which is, you take that, stuff it into a stocking, and we've got a couple of videos on that too, but stuff it down in like one of, some of those thigh or knee-high pantyhose things, hang it over into a 5-gallon bucket with some rainwater in it, pour a little molasses in it and one of them bubblers from like a fish tank, let it sit for 24 hours, and that makes a really gentle fertilizer you can put on your plants.
Yeah, so she put the link up.
Thank you for posting that, Cindy.
Yep.
Yeah, Dark Lord, you forgot the WD-40. Did you see that post that he put up there saying, "Go this one here"? This is so true, and WD-40 is supposed to be added to that.
You know what WD stands for in WD-40?
It was made in San Diego. I know it's water. It's basically water and sugar.
No, WD stands for water displacement. That's what
Water
it was intended for. Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, you would know that because you're an oil guy. Did you know it was made? Did you know it was made in San Diego?
No, I didn't.
It was made in San Diego, in not too far from where I used to live. They had their main office and main thing there. They used to make it there.
Yeah.
Now it's made all over, I'm sure. And they're so big.
And a set of vice grips.
Oh yeah, instead of ice grips. Yep. I've known Well, I haven't done it because I'm a welder, so if I can put a vice grips on, I can weld it and hold it. But I know people who have vice grips holding it because they bring it to me and say, "Hey, I can't weld. Would you weld this for me?" I go, "How long has these vice grips been on there?" "Oh, about 3 or 4 weeks, and they're rusted shut, closed." And I weld it and then pry the vice grips off for them. But yeah, vice grips are farm necessity.
If you'd have brought that to me, I would have welded the vice grips to the pipe.
Vice grips,
They'll never move now.
they won't move now. Yeah.
Yeah, well, listen, Jerry, I'm going to have to go, man. I don't know how long you're going to go, but I got to drop off.
I'm pretty much wrap it up pretty quick. But Jesse, I always appreciate you coming in and talking. You're a pleasure to have around.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't know if Lisa always thinks that, but at least I can think that.
No, thank you for letting me be a part of y'all's live tonight. Thank you.
You're always welcome.
Hey,
right.
Jesse, you're always welcome on any live I'm in.
Yeah, but I got to do it before midnight. Yeah. So.
That's why I stop at that 10. Gives you the chance to go have some ice cream before you go to bed.
Yeah, but Gary, he's a 311 worker, so when he gets off at 11 o'clock, he's ready to go. He said, "Come on, let's do some."
He's fired up.
He's fired up. I'm just not getting my second win.
That's about right. I do. In fact, when Devil Dog told me he wasn't going live, I was like, well, I'll set one up. I don't want the folks that's used to dropping in, I mean, although at midnight, you don't get a whole lot of viewers typically, but, some nights you get pretty good crowd in there.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people that just like to get up and talk, I mean, like Xander, he just likes to talk. He won't do a live himself, but he likes to get on yours and talk. I mean, in the chat meeting. So
yeah,
maybe one day we can coax him into getting on the live.
Yeah, we need to get him and see if we can get him up one time.
Hey, I need him to come up and have him say one number.
Have you got Jesse say a number yet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Jesse, you said a number, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I thought so.
Yeah.
You were like number 1, I think.
No, I'm number 2, and Mark was number 1.
Brian was number 1. What number did you say, Jesse?
I don't remember now.
Yeah, Brian was number 1. Brian was number 1. I was number 2. Mark was 10.
I don't remember, Gary. I don't remember.
That's all right. I'll figure it out.
We'll find it.
Yeah, but we will be live tomorrow night at 5 o'clock Central. So if you guys want to drop in, feel free to drop in.
I'll be there.
And because I'm sure Lisa probably want to give something away.
She's always giving.
It is.
I'm surprised you got a roof over your head. So you're always giving everything away.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
That's all we got.
I'm spending my son's inheritance.
Yeah.
Start, Lisa.
He doesn't watch your lives, your videos, does he?
He does sometimes.
Or does he?
Yeah.
He hasn't watched the one where he said you're selling his inheritance, have you?
No.
He misses that one.
Yeah, you missed that one. All right, guys. I appreciate y'all. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Love you guys. Y'all be good.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Way about there.
Well, Gary, do you have anything else you want to say?
Make good content.
Yep. I appreciate Xander coming in and Cindy Brown and Randy from Missouri Outlaw. He's not, he's like a neighbor of mine. And we had Heather in here for a while. I don't know if she's gone, but I really appreciate everybody who's in here and watching and lurking. It says we have 8 people watching, but I only show 4 people in the chat part thing. So we must have people who are playing in the background, not saying anything. But I appreciate all you guys, and we'll do it next Friday night.
Yep.
And we're gonna do it on you're gonna go live, and I'm gonna come on to yours.
I think so. I mean, if you want to do it that way, it doesn't matter to me.
No, let's do it that way. Let's do it that way, and send me the thumbnail you're gonna use, and I'll put it on my page also, saying that I'm gonna go on. I'll type in there. I'm gonna go on to yours.
Okay, but if you put it on yours, you won't be able to join mine. I don't think it'll just have to.
Well, I can put it on there, saying comment, put it on there, and then when I'll just do it, I'll just delete it before I come in yours.
we can talk about how that all works, but I don't think I mean, if you put a thing up, you won't be able to join mine, I don't think, because it has to be initiated and then it just creates one. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's all right. That's all right. Y'all have a good night. Thank y'all for coming in.
Okay. Mark just popped in.
Hey, Mark.
All right.
Wait.
Well, I'm sorry. Oh, there's Heather still here. Thanks for coming in, Heather. And thanks everybody for coming in. I'm gonna stop her now. So thank you. See you next week.